So hi, this is Quarantiki number 38. This is Quarantiki number 1, season 2, 2021,
Number 38.
number 38. I have no idea. We were supposed to figure out how we were going to number these over the last week, and we didn't. We just didn't.
I did.
She,
We're gonna keep going.
Star decided we're going to keep going. This is number 38. Okay, all right, fair enough. That'll work. So, what are we going to do tonight? Well, um, we were gifted, we received, we took possession of a ginormous bottle of Bacardi Gold. Now, ordinarily, I would just save this for the next time that I am going to do a punch. And this would be like the backbone of the punch that would be augmented with some Jamaican rum and a few other things. But I thought it would be a nice challenge for 2021 to go, how much does the rum matter? Are there drinks for which it doesn't matter so much what rum you use? And so I thought we would do 3 cocktails this evening, but we're going to do 2 variations of each cocktail. So yeah, I'm going to be making 6 cocktails in the next hour. Woohoo! And what we're going to do is we're going to make the drink according to the original parameters, according to Jeff Beachbum and his Total Tiki app. And then we're going to do a second version where we replace all of the rum with Bacardi Gold. And we'll see whether or not it makes a difference and how much it makes a difference and whether either of us happen to like the Bacardi Gold version better, because that would be one heck of a lot cheaper for the most part. Hello, Chris. Chris is in. Who else do we have? Dana's in. Excellent. Hi all. Hi all. Welcome to 2021. This is our first broadcast from 2021. 21st century is now old enough to drink. And after the last year that we had, yeah, we probably need to. So I should get started on this. There is a classic cocktail that on every tiki board that I happen to be a member of, everybody seems to absolutely adore, despite the fact that tiki purists are kind of like, is that really a tiki cocktail? It seems kind of unbalanced and all. And so we're going to make that one. We're going to make a Painkiller. Now, the great thing about the Painkiller is it's also trademarked. It's trademarked by Pussers. And so Pussers is sitting there saying, if you're going to make a Painkiller, you got to use Pussers rum, or at least one of the Pussers rums. So we're going to put that to the test. We're going to make a Painkiller using Pussers rum. We're going to make one using Bacardi Gold. And we'll see if you can tell the difference. Because, man, there is a ton of pineapple juice in this cocktail. So who knows whether or not the rum will actually make a difference. So the Real McCoy 10, and there's also a Real McCoy 12 that I have up there. And the 12 has 12-year-old Real McCoy in it, which is pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. It's from Foursquare Distillery. The 10-year is a mix or a blend of 10-year and 15-year, and I actually really like the 10-year better, but Foursquare is honest about how they advertise, and so the youngest rum in here is 10 years, so they mark it as a 10-year bottle, even though there is a not inconsiderable amount of 15-year-old rum in here. So we're going to do just a little splash in here because we have a number of cocktails to get through this evening, hon. So we're going to set the Real McCoy aside, and you can take that back with you.
Okay.
Here is your Cotton and Reed tasting glass.
Okay. So first we can absolutely toast that it is 2021.
Yes. All right. Because why not?
Oh my God, it's 2021.
Here is to survival.
Yes.
Isn't that delightful?
That is yummy. But I also want to toast that we have now completed Christmas. Well, we have one more thing to do for Christmas, but
take it down.
2. We have to take the Christmas tree down, but we have to mail the package to your mom.
We even shoved 2019's Christmas tree into the fireplace today.
Yeah.
And burned up large portions of it.
Yeah.
No, we did not shove the entire Christmas tree up the chimney and burn it.
We cut it into sections.
Yeah.
But we got the bulk, the last grouping of the Christmas letters into a mailbox today. So
Before Epiphany, yay!
yay,
This makes Star happy.
it does.
Yeah, here's to actually being awake to do this broadcast, because
He's been nappy all day.
yeah, today's just been one of those dreary, low energy days, and so yeah, I crashed about an hour and a half ago, and I'm going to try for you guys. I'm going to try to keep the energy up. So we'll see how well that goes. Two identical cocktails, painkillers with different rums. So we're going to start with the. There's some discussion as to whether or not you should always start with your cheapest ingredient. I tend to start with whatever is the stickiest and most gooey ingredient. Often that turns out to be the cheapest, because usually I'm making my own simple syrup, and so that's really pretty cheap. So that's not a problem. Tonight, however, for the painkiller, we are starting off with Real Gourmet Cream of Coconut from Coco Real, and this is some sticky stuff. So we need an ounce of this. It's gonna fart all over the place. Yeah, that's great. Okay. We're gonna go an ounce of this. And I will want some sort of pick or something to get this out of here, because this stuff is thick. I mean, this is thicker than my orgeat, and that's saying something.
David wants to know if that's a bowl of mint, because that would be a lot of spanking.
It is a bowl of mint. It has not been spanked yet. It has been cut down to size and shoved in an ice bath in order to torture it, because I guess it needs torturing. The poor mint. Mint this time of year is kind of catch as catch can. I'm not sure. We've got a fair amount of mint still in the back, but this is store-bought mint, and it looked really good in the package. And then I got the package home, and there's a lot of broken pieces of mint and that sort of thing. So it's kind of a bummer there. All right. There we go. And then we need another full ounce in the other shaker. Everybody seems to really like the painkiller, and I just think it's got to be the cream of coconut that does it. People just really like the taste of the cream of coconut, unless of course you don't like coconut, in which case this is not the drink for you. I'm okay with it. The painkiller is not one of my faves. It's a little on the sweet side for me, and it's a little simple, but I figured let's start there, because that would be an ideal cocktail where if you can get away with using a cheaper rum, why not do it, right? Okay, so we've got
Colleen.
Hi Colleen. We've got an ounce of coconut cream. We need an ounce of orange juice, and here we're going to go with the fresh squeezed orange juice. This is actually squeezed a couple hours ago. Not squeezed. Yeah, squeezed orange juice. Sorry. So it needs to be shaken up a little bit. So we need a full ounce of that. We've done taste tests previously comparing things like, well, orange juice and whether or not it makes a difference to use fresh squeezed orange juice or something like Tropicana. Tropicana will do in a pinch, but it just does not have that bright vibrancy that fresh squeezed orange juice does. So we'll go on with that. All right. I did mention at the top of the show that this drink requires a lot of pineapple juice. 4 full ounces of pineapple juice in each one of these. Yeah, so that's a lot. Did not bother to go and juice a pineapple today. I have a pineapple, but in true Tiki fashion, I pretty much bought it mostly for the fronds so that I can decorate, but I think this is causing my wife a headache. Really? You just wanted the fronds? Oh, no, we'll use the fronds and then we will juice the pineapple. So that's 1 ounce, 2 ounces, 3 ounces. Yeah, I could flip this over and use the 2 ounce portion of it, but then I would get drippings of nasty coconut cream all over my bar mat here, and that would be bad. That's 2. That's 3. And that's 4. That's 8 ounces of pineapple juice, and fortunately these little Dole cans come in 8.4 ounce cans, so yeah, that works. Ta-da! Now we need rum. According to the Pusser's website, you can make either a 2, a 3, or a 4 painkiller, depending on how much pain you happen to be in. Ordinarily, that would mean that I'd be reaching for 4 ounces of rum for each of these, but we're not going to do that. If you look at Beachbum Barry's books, he talks about the painkiller at about 2.5 of rum, and so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to go 2.5 ounces of Pusser's rum on the left.
Dr. Chu.
Dr. Chu! There's 1. Hey, boss man, how you doing? 2. Everybody make it fine into 2021. 2.5. There we go. For the other, yep, we're reaching for it. Cardinal sin of mine. I did not test to make sure I can get the cap off of this. There we go. I keep telling you, before you ever do a broadcast like this, make sure that you can open all of the bottles so you're not like, oh, I can't get this open. And then I, of course, forget to do it. So
you might want to explain to the newbies again why you're using the Bacardi Gold.
I'm using the Bacardi Gold to mess with you. No, just kidding. So we received, took possession of, now have in our possession this half handle of Bacardi Gold. And so what I wanted to do was take the Bacardi Gold and put it in a series of tiki cocktails so that we could make some reasoned experimentation on whether or not it actually makes a difference which rum you use. And we're starting with the Painkiller because the Painkiller is trademarked by Pusser's, so they say if it's going to be a painkiller, you got to use Pusser's rum. Well, we'll find out whether or not that's actually true. Now, just on first glance, I don't know if you can see, let's see, pull these back. Yeah, you can tell this guy here, this is the Pusser's darker aged Demerara rum. Here's your Golden Bacardi. So we certainly are going to get a visual difference. And we're going to get some ice cubes in here. And you might be saying, well, you're not using the scientific method here because you're not measuring out how much ice you're putting in each one of these. Well, here's the trick. I'm going by displacement, and as long as those two are the same height, then I am darn sure that I got the same amount of ice in those. So there, ha. Okay, Pusser's Bacardi Gold. Because the coconut cream is pretty thick and viscous, I'm not actually going to do a one-hand shake with both of these. I'm going to do them one at a time. Here we go. I'll get this cold. I'm a little light on the ice, maybe. I don't know. All right, so second one. Roughly 20-second shake on both of those, assuming I counted properly. Gold rum, Pusser's rum. Well, let's see what this looks like. We are going to put these in 2 different mugs. So this was a gift from Zach and his wife, and Amy, right? Duh. Zach and his wife Amy for our tiki party that we had, the Halloween tiki party. And this was a Christmas present. This is a Baku rum mug. I think we actually, did we show off the Baku rum mug last week? I think we may have. In any case, yeah, I'm going to insult Baku by putting Bacardi Gold in it, but you know, that's neither here nor there. All right, so we're supposed to strain this into mugs with crushed ice, which means I need crushed ice. Fortunately, I crushed some ice ahead of time. dump some crushed ice in each one of these. Now you can accuse me of not having the same level of dilution. And the glasses aren't the same height and all sorts of other things. Yeah. Look, I'm doing a taste test with Bacardi Gold. Leave me alone. All right. We're going to put a Hawthorne strainer here. This is actually a pretty loose weave here. But I'm not too worried because we're pouring this over crushed ice. So if I get a little ice chunks in this, I'm not too concerned. All right, so here goes the pussers. The true painkiller. Right there. It's our Bacardi Gold painkiller. There we go. Doop, doop, doop. Now, as long as this has got a ton of pineapple in it, we might as well make use of the pineapple fronds that we have in order to garnish this. So we're just going to rip some pineapple fronds off our pineapple back here. 3 little pineapple fronds here. 1, 2, and 3. Ta-da. Second one. Go. 1, 2, 3. Other primary ingredient here would be orange. So we're going to just do a great big orange wheel. We're going to just set that right here with the palm fronds behind it, or the pineapple fronds behind it. Just like such. Yep. Or you can flip that around. That might actually look a little better because you can then see the fronds, right? So that's kind of cool. We need straws in these. We are going to reach for our standard Surfside Sips green bamboo straws. One here, one there. And then we're going to do a taste test. So if the wife would like to come up and partake of this taste test, she is perfectly welcome to do so. I'm going to reach over here and take a test of the Bacardi Gold Not Painkiller. Pineapple and orange. It's pretty much what I get. Pineapple and orange off of that. Nothing wrong with that. It's fine, I guess. So let's try the pussers and see if the Demerara rum makes a difference. Now remember, I'm not a big fan of the painkiller to begin with, so I am probably not the best judge of character here on these guys.
I had to put our discount code for Surfside Sips for their straws. That's
all right,
what
so
my delay was.
So here is your Bacardi Gold painkiller.
Oh, you've got your Dizzy Diva.
Dizzy Diva picks, yep. Pineapple and orange.
Pineapple and orange.
Little coconut.
Little coconut. This tastes like many, many tiki bars.
Yes. Yeah, I'll try that. I know what I prefer.
That's a much more intense drink.
Yep. Yep.
You can definitely taste the rum. It adds flavor to it.
You can taste the rum. It's adding flavor. Yeah, the Bacardi Gold is.
Yeah.
That's a fruit juice.
It's
right
a fruit juice.
It's an alcoholic fruit juice. So
when I go to a bar and I say, I want rum and juice, because I don't know what their skill level is, but I don't feel like my standard and drink, which is a rum and Coke. Sometimes I get rum and orange juice. Sometimes I get a painkiller, and it tastes pretty much like this.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Bacardi Gold. I mean, it's fine. It's a drink.
It's a drink.
It's not what I'm going to pay extra for at a tiki bar and a craft cocktail.
Correct. Yes, if I were to order a painkiller and I got that at a tiki bar, I would be disappointed.
Yes.
If I ordered this at Joe's Schmuckatelli's bar, I'd probably be fine with it. I was like, what was I expecting, right? But this, the Demerara rum,
yummy.
Does add a nice complexity to the drink. It rounds it out. It doesn't taste just like fruit punch. Still a little on the sweet side for my taste.
See?
I'm not. There you go.
This is a Dizzy Diva pick.
There's the Dizzy Diva pick. Yep. Surfside sip straw. Do you want to do the other one? So we I can't get that close to the camera. So there you go.
So she doesn't have any more of these beads, but she does have all kinds of nice stuff. I'll put a link.
So if you want her to do custom picks, I'm guessing you could throw some cash at her and she would do that for you. And don't get me wrong. If what you want is a fruity drink that just happens to have some rum in it, the Painkiller with a well rum is going to be perfectly fine, despite the fact that they're essentially breaking the trademark that Pusser's has. But Pusser's makes a really nice Painkiller, so you know, there is a definite difference between the two. We are going to do another cocktail. This is going to get a little further down the Tiki line. There is no question in my mind that the Dr. Funk is a Tiki drink, as opposed to the Painkiller, which is, it really needs a little more citrus to round it out and make it a well-balanced drink. And maybe another, it's so simple in terms of the flavors. It's like sipping an orange Julius with a little alcohol in it. So, okay, second drink, Dr. Funk. All right, so Dr. Funk is lime juice, grenadine, a little absinthe, and then it specifically calls for a lightly aged and filtered rum. There they are, they're right next to me. Lightly aged filtered rum. And so what constitutes a lightly aged filtered rum? Well, pretty much any Puerto Rican, excuse me, any Puerto Rican or Cuban rum is going to be largely lightly aged. I mean, unless you're buying an aged rum from them. But almost all the standard lines are going to be lightly aged, filtered. The filter traditionally means you're dealing with a clear rum. And so as a consequence, what we're going to do for the clear or white rum for this is we're going to go with our standard Plantation 3-Star. So the Plantation 3-Star is a mix of Jamaican, Barbados, and Trinidad rums. If you're a watcher, you know that this is sort of my go-to. So we're going to do the same thing that we did previously. We are just going to go put the same ingredients in these two, and then we're going to do a side-by-side taste test. So first, I need some absinthe. Ta-da! Absinthe. I always keep a small bottle of Mount Defiance absinthe on the bar because you never know when you want a little bit of absinthe in whatever it is you're drinking. Now this calls for a teaspoon, and I do in fact keep... Does it really call for a teaspoon? It does call for a teaspoon. That's a lot of absinthe, by the way. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna punt. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna do a half teaspoon, because otherwise all you're going to taste is the absinthe. The Mountain Defiance is a potent absinthe, and I don't really want to overpower the Dr. Funk. So there's this is a quarter teaspoon, sorry, quarter, another quarter. This also saves me from having to run to the back and get a bottle of Mount Defiance out so that I have enough absinthe to do it. But that is not the reason. The reason was because the Mount Defiance is a particularly strong absinthe, and I didn't want to... I can already, like, oh, all I smell from my bar now is absinthe, which I love, but maybe not everybody does. 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice goes in each one of these. And my jigger from the previous go-around still has... yeah, this coconut cream stuff is viscous. It's tasty, but it's viscous. I'm not going to use that jigger because I don't want coconut in this. So we're going to reach over, grab another jigger, and we're going to go 3/4 of an ounce fresh squeezed lime juice. We all having fun. We all survived 2020. So, you know, that's pretty cool.
Keith thought that the Painkiller was a joke. Dave clarified him that it's actually the name of the drink.
It is actually the name of the drink, yes. And it is actually trademarked by Pusser's Rum. Yep. And so you get variations on the Painkiller that are called other things that use other rums, you know, like the Excedrin and that sort of thing. Yeah, I think we did. We made some variation on it. We called it the Advil. What else do we need? We need grenadine, and I have my home-based grenadine here. This is another one of those bottles that I should have checked because the grenadine is really sugary, so this may stick a bit. And oh, there we go. It's open. Half ounce grenadine. Yep, half ounce of the grenadine. So I will want some feedback here. We're playing around with a new video feed, so new camera, and a few other things here that we're doing. We have moved my video screen so it's in front of me, and the recipes for the cocktails are also in front of me. So I am no longer having to do this in order to get cocktail ingredients and read the cocktail ingredients. So you have to let me know whether or not that's working out better for everyone. All right, so now we need the lightly aged rum, and my plantation is right here. Ounce and a half, right. So I'm going to go 3/4 ounce and another 3/4 ounce. Math, it's fun. 3/4 and 3/4 being 1.5 ounces. This is a particularly light drink. I mean, an ounce and a half of rum, it's not that bad. You can knock back like 6 or 7 of these guys. Now I need an ounce and a half of Bacardi Gold. Lightly aged, not filtered. In fact, they may actually have added color back into this, not sure. We're gonna do the same thing. There's 3/4 and 3/4. There we go. Now, unlike the last cocktail that we did, where we used the pussers, there was a definite difference in coloration between the two cocktails, and I don't see a whole lot between the two here. This one may be a little more pale, but the grenadine is providing almost all the color. My grenadine is really, really dark, and so I think that's what's doing it. So we're going to put ice cubes in here. We're going to shake these guys up. We're going to strain this into these glasses right here, and then we're going to stir in the club soda and then top off with some crushed ice. So that's how that works. All right, so we need some cubed ice. I'm just going to go with a scoop here. One nice scoop. We'll go with the scoop there. And need to even that out a little bit. I will eventually need a little more ice from the back room, I'm thinking. More cubed ice. We'll have one more cocktail after this. All right. This is Plantation. This is our Bacardi Gold. Set that aside for a moment, and we're going to lid this up and give it a good shake. It's all nice and frosty. Come on, there we go. Simple cocktail, you know, it's got 4 ingredients in it, plus the club soda. Really easy to do. Hawthorne strainer. This goes into, sure, the yellow one. Let's do that. Sort of a pale pinkish color. All right. Okay. The last little dregs out. And then we'll use a green one for the Bacardi Gold. How's that sound? I know, we should have done the Bacardi Gold in the gold mug. That would have made sense. But no, I didn't think of that. Sue me. There we go. Nice shaken. Hear that trying to pop. There we go. Seal pops. Hawthorne strainer goes on top. And we'll just go strain that just like that. Pretty much the same color on these two. So, you know, it tells you something. The Bacardi Gold is pretty light rum, even though they call it a gold. Now we're going to throw crushed ice in these guys. Round those out. And as long as we've got some room left in there, Allie goes ahead and sticks straws in these guys. I am going to go a different direction here. Usually I'm using Surfside sips. I'm going to just go with a couple of metal straws here. Get one there, one there. Little trick, when filling your glass with crushed ice to round that out, you want to put the spoon in before you finish topping the straw in before you finish topping it off, because otherwise you're trying to jam the straw through the ice pack, and that sometimes doesn't work so well. And if you get really vigorous about it, you can actually end up breaking either your straw or your glass, and that's no fun. So we don't want to do that. So there we go. We have 2 Dr. Funks. There's not a canonical garnish for the Dr. Funk. So what I thought I would do is be a little funky. Haha, see, funky? And I happen to have this. Oh my gosh, what is that?
Other camera.
What is this thing that I am holding up? This is an alien plant. No, it's a dragon fruit. So we're going to put a dragon fruit on a couple of picks, and we're going to stick that. Yeah, it's a weird looking thing, ain't it? I like these guys. They're just bizarre looking. They're pretty mild fruit. They're very pretty, though. Aren't they, hon?
Yeah.
All right. So we got that all cut.
Sneak behind you here.
I need to put a pick through these guys. I pulled a couple of picks out to use.
They're
Where
on
are they? Right here.
Get to the bar.
Right.
Also by Dizzy Diva.
Yeah, our picks tend to be by Dizzy Diva. So here is another pick. Punch this through. Yeah, I'm also not working at a professional bar. And so, yeah, I'm getting my fingers all over this and that sort of thing. So there we go. We're just going to stick that right in there. Great big, massive little slice of dragon fruit. It's only Star and I drinking these, so I'm not too worried about hygiene here. My hands are clean, at least clean enough for the 2 of us. And there we go. Second dragon fruit. And I'm going to stick a little mint in there. Come on, mint. Oh, you poor thing. David, you ready? Because, you know, we're going to have to... This poor mint needs some life back in it. Oh, that poor thing. It's like just beat the living daylights out of it. All right, so there's just a sprig of mint in there. We're going to do the same with the other one. Here we have a more vibrant stalk. Smack that around. As soon as I do, it like takes all the life right out of it. Okay, there we go.
We saw a guy on we were watching another video. Let me have a piece of mint.
Piece of mint? You want a little piece of mint?
Yeah, and so instead of spanking the mint and stuff, he like tapped the mint around the glass to release the flavors. It's like, that does nothing.
Oh, I'm going to waft the mint along the edge of the... I'm like, yeah, baby, we're going to do this. We're going to smack it around.
We kind of laughed at him, you know,
we did.
which is unfair, but we're not going to call him out.
Right. I mean, it's not like we like laughed at him online,
No.
you know, on his channel or anything. No. I would never do that to... Oh, no, not going to mention his name either. Not going to do that. All right. There you go. There's a Puerto Rican rum, Bacardi Gold. Dr. Funk.
I taste absinthe.
I'm betting you do.
I taste a mix of rums and absinthe.
Ta-da. Which probably means I'm going to like this one better again,
Probably,
right?
but you should start.
But
with
why?
that.
I mean, you know, if you're going to be using absinthe, why not use a high-quality rum to go with it? But if the drink turned out to be just absinthe and grenadine, and that's all you tasted,
Right.
then who cares what rum you're doing, right?
Exactly,
Because
exactly.
the absinthe was just beating the daylights out of it. And so that's part of the reason why I cut back on the absinthe,
Mhm.
because otherwise, wow, you know, we wouldn't be tasting it at all, right? Yep. Okay, that is tart. Wow, what is that? There's a weird flavor in that.
Yeah.
Not sure what that is. It almost tastes like herbal or Like, I don't know, like something's happening with the mint that's affecting that. That's weird.
Is it the smell from the passion dragon fruit?
Might be.
I think it might be. I think that might be affecting your drink experience.
Oh, that's so much better. Oh my gosh.
It is. It is.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Okay, so it matters on that one.
So it does, yeah. I mean, the Painkiller, a little less so. The Dr. Funk, yeah, the Dr. Funk, it really matters, turns out. Wow. And apparently I'm winding up with all the good rums over here.
I'm
so
being nice today.
she's being nice to me. Oh. Oh. Wow. That changes over time too. The coconut becomes more pronounced in the Painkiller.
Oh, did they miss the soda?
Oh, you did not. Okay, I'm 0 for 2 on these cocktails. They're supposed to be.
So now we've had a little sip down, so you have room to add the soda.
Wow. 2021. Oof. You know, if these are the worst mistakes that happened in 2021, I'm going to be real happy. All right, so we got 1 ounce of club soda. We're just going to stick that right in there. Pop this up here. Scoot that up there.
Thank you, Dana.
This is what I get for reading the recipe ahead of time. You guys know when I mess up. All right, so that goes in there.
We also need to move your comments down. I can't.
And then that'll need a little gentle stir, as the instructions say. Gentle stir. Not a gentle sir, a gentle stir. A little gentle stir will give the gentleman a stir. How's that? All right.
So I want to taste them again now that we have the soda.
Yep. Hey, so with the mic on the tentacle, can you guys hear any of the background music? I don't know if you can. It's pretty light. What we have is some surf rock going on in the background.
That's still a better drink, but it does make this one better.
Well, duh. So wait, I get to
I
get to taste the bad one. I mean, the not quite as good one. Yes.
Dive Bar Tiki, Craft Tiki. And I've been to some dive bar tikis.
Yeah.
And they're quality, fun experiences.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Wow, turns out, who knew? I'm a freaking tiki snob, apparently.
We knew that.
Yeah, that's better. Well, I mean, it's better than the other. I think I actually liked it without the club soda. I don't think it needs to be lengthened at all. Although it draws out the absinthe, so the absinthe is a little longer flavor through that. So that's okay. David's telling me that nobody can hear the music, which, you know, that's fine. I can, so that's all right. So turns out one of our friends, longtime friend of the show, has a friend that plays in a music group called Los Straitjackets. And they are a surf rock band that plays in luchador masks and have been doing so for quite a while, as it turns out. I knew of the Los Straitjackets, but had never heard them play. So I just hopped on over to Pandora, dropped Los Straitjackets in as a band, and said, give me a station with this band as the seed. And that's what I've been listening to for the last couple of days. And it's all instrumental, surf rock, and that's worked out really great for me. I really like this. I like it having in the back. I actually think the flavor profile is more pronounced in the Painkiller, but it matters less in the Painkiller than the smaller amount of difference matters for the Dr. Funk. The Dr. Funk really needs a rum with a little more character, and the Plantation 3-Star does that to help balance out the absinthe, and I just don't think the Bacardi Gold does that. And so Star's right. You taste absinthe and a little bit of citrus, and that's kind of what you get. It's looking more and more like that Bacardi Gold is intended for a punch at some point, which means we're going to have people over, because I'm not going to drink a half gallon of that stuff. Well, not all at once. All right. David's asking for a band link. Um, so Star, it's Los Straitjackets. You should be able to find that. LosStraitjackets.com, I think. Not sure. All right, so that's second drink. Painkiller, simple, almost at the edge of not even really being a tiki drink. The Dr. Funk, definitely tiki drink, and also the basis for a whole bunch of other tiki drinks. The third drink that we're going to do this evening is like deep into tiki canon, right? So this is a tiki drink. This is one of the tiki drinks that I judge tiki bars on. I'm not doing a jet pilot this evening, but I am going to do a three dots and a dash. And we've done the three dots and dash. Actually, we've done all three of these drinks previously. We do the three dots and a dash because I really like the three dots and a dash. It's the signature drink of three dots and a dash, the Chicago Tiki Bar, which is incomparably good, although prone to being overrun by hipsters. So go early, get yourself a table. You'll enjoy it more. I'm working on the garnishes even as we speak. They're sitting over here. We got three dots and a dash for the garnish. I need to. The dash is being. What we're using is a breadcrumb for the dash, and well, you know me. If I've got a breadcrumb on the bar, and I'm dropping something onto that breadcrumb, it probably means that there's likely to be flames later on. There will be fire, because 2020 was a bit of a dumpster fire, and so we're gonna light the garnish on fire. That's the plan. We'll see if it makes any difference to the cocktail that the garnish is on fire. Who knows? Chris asks, so I am finding cocktail making causing me twitches. I end up with lovely husks of juiced limes or lemons, and I twitch when I think about tossing all that lovely flavor into the trash. Any suggestions for using those husks? Oh, absolutely, I have suggestions for those. So the two primary ones is use them as a garnish, right? I mean, this is the primary, is things like the Mai Tai, where the classic garnish for the Mai Tai is a hollowed out lime husk with some form of burning material in it, often, some high octane rum sitting there burning in that, or just you can use the husks with a green side down. Excuse me. So that'd be green side up, and then like plant like a little umbrella in it, and make it look like it's a little island floating in the cocktail. That's been done. If you are lucky enough to be able to actually host people, you can also use those to serve Jello shots in. The wife has done that on a couple of occasions. The other thing to do would be to make an Oleo Saccharum with them. So what is this? So not clear on the proportions. You'd have to look them up. But essentially, if you cut the lime or lemon husks into thin strips and mix them with a sugar, and then turn that over a few times over the course of time, what you will wind up with is essentially a cordial or syrup. And so you'll end up with like a lime or a lemon syrup that you can use. It's very sweet, and it extracts all of the natural oils as it desiccates the lemon peel and or lime peel. And so yeah, that's classic uses for those. Seems to me there's another use, and I am totally not remembering what it is.
So in restaurant kitchens, they make a stock with the lime husks called remoulade.
Star says that some restaurants make a lime stock. I have no idea what you would do with that, but it's a thing. So I'll let Star post some link to it so that you can track it down and go, yeah, I need lime stock, or not, But yeah, so those are the basic things I can think of for doing that. I'm sure there are other uses. People can call in, right? Type in and say, oh, I would use them for blah blah blah. Oh, you could you could do limoncello or limecello with that. Yep. I'm sure there are. Sure that means there are recipes online for doing that. I've never actually made limoncello. I didn't even bring back any limoncello when I went to Italy, which is kind of a crying shame. I did bring back rum, which tells you a lot about me. Yes. Uh,
From the Philippines.
yeah, we went on a tour of Italy not last year, the year before, tour of the Mediterranean cruise. We stopped in all sorts of different ports. One of the ports is Malta. We found the only rum bar on Malta because Have You Met Me? Um, and we had this really nice Filipino rum there. And then on the way back, I happened to notice that it was available for sale in the duty-free shop. So I brought back a Filipino rum from my trip to Italy. It's the Don Papas, and it's right up there, right there. I know exactly what shelf it's on. Quite a tasty little rum. And now suddenly becoming more and more available in the States, which is pretty awesome because they do other releases that are, I hear tell, are quite good. And so I'm definitely looking forward to being able to find those. Three Dots and a Dash starts with Angostura bitters. And you usually see people, they'll start off and they'll just do a dash of Angostura bitters. So I always think that this completely violates every rule about building a cocktail, right? Because Angostura bitters, pound for pound, is an expensive ingredient, far more expensive than your rum. So you should be putting that in last, right? Because it's the most expensive ingredient. Also, there are viscous ingredients that go into this cocktail, so those should go in if you're following my instructions before you do that. So either way, Angostura bitters is not what we're going to lead off with. Normally, this cocktail requires honey syrup. And I went to start this broadcast and pulling out all of my ingredients and went, wait, I don't have any honey syrup? How is that freaking possible? But as it turns out, I do not. In fact, double checking. No, I do not have honey syrup already made. Honey syrup is really easy. It's honey dissolved in warm water. I mean, it's but easy to make. But yeah, ran out of time, and so what we're going to do is punt here, and we're going to do something slightly different. We are going to do date syrup instead of the honey syrup. And we're just going to cross our fingers and hope it's going to be a slight variant on the 3 dots and a dash. But, you know, it's a date syrup. And why are we drinking the 3 dots and a dash? Because we're declaring victory because the date changed. See what I'm doing there? Yeah, there you go. How to turn, a bad situation into an even worse pun. There you go. So we're going to start with the date syrup because the date syrup is the most viscous ingredient here. I'm going to reach over, grab my jigger, and here we're going to go. We need a ½ ounce of date syrup. At least it's the right color. Wow, ½ ounce date syrup. There we go. It is a little thicker than I would normally make my honey syrup. Not by too much. So I have high hopes that this will work. I was thinking about just using one of my spiced syrups. I'm gonna go with the date syrup as the closest analog to honey syrup, and because it allowed me to make a bad pun. So there we go. There's a ½ ounce date syrup. How was everyone's New Year's? You guys all have a good one? You know, not too insane. I mean, I don't think anybody was like running around screaming at on Times Square or anything. At least we didn't notice anybody. We were watching Anderson Cooper, and seemed like pretty dead out on Times Square, aside from the first responders that they gave tickets to. But that was pretty awesome.
David booed your pun.
Yeah. Okay. Feel free to boo my puns. You can boo my broadcast just as long as you hit the like button. That's all I care about,
Is
right?
honey syrup 1-to-1?
You can do it either way. You can do a 2-to-1 or a 1-to-1. Classically, I think I've seen it as a 1-to-1. Bonita had a great New Year's Eve. Awesome. Very cool. We stayed in. I made French 75s for Star. Although I swapped out champagne for Prosecco. We just find that we just like the drinks better with Prosecco. And then I did a variation on the French 75. Pretty huge variation, actually. So I took out the gin. Replaced the gin with Laird's Applejack, and then I took out the lime juice and I replaced it with a really, really tart, unsweetened cranberry juice, and then simple syrup, and then lengthened that with the Prosecco, and that was really tasty. I have no idea what I'm going to call that. There's no gun that I know of that's named after an apple, so who knew? Mac doesn't make firearms, so I don't know what to do without that. All right, so we've got our date syrup in there. Nice start. Okay, let's do a half ounce of lime juice. Fine. Half ounce lime juice. Oop. And a half ounce lime juice. That really does help clear out the jigger. I mean, it just really, really does. And what you want to do is make sure you're getting every last bit of that syrup that is supposed to go in that cocktail. So that all works out. Aside from the fact that I can't find the lid. Okay, there we go. Here's the lime juice. Orange juice in this. We also have a half ounce of orange juice. So our citrus is being split, lime and orange. Again, I sometimes have it hard. I know orange juice is a citrus, but I don't really consider it a sour. Pretty much, lime or lemon and grapefruit are pretty much your sours. Maybe you can get away with a little grape or cranberry juice as your sour when you're mixing sweet, sour, strong, and weak. Usually I put orange juice in the weak category. It just doesn't have the acidity to really be called a sour component. All right, lime juice, orange juice, the honey syrup. We'll go ahead and add the Angostura at this point, as long as I can find it. Here's my Angostura. I know this doesn't look like an Angostura bottle. It doesn't have the paper wrapping. It's just not an Angostura bottle. Yes, but I have the great big Angostura bottles, and so I just dose them out into these smaller containers so that I can actually make use of them. So we're going to go 1 dash. 1 dash. There you go. That's it. That's all we want from the Angostura. Sure, you could use other bitters if you wanted. I've got Tiki bitters here. Got plum bitters, rhubarb bitters. You could use anything you want, but classically the drink is made with Angostura, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So Angostura, lime, orange, honey, or in this case, date syrup. Then we get weird. We're going to go with falernum. Velvet falernum, 1/4 ounce of this. So citrusy, spicy, a little bit of nutty, kind of an almond flavor to this. That jigger is not marked for quarters, so we're going to go here and do a 1/4 ounce. Quarter ounce falernum. One of the reasons I really like the 3 dots and a dash as a test of a tiki bar is because, all right, so let's start here for when you go out. When you go out to eat, when you go out to drink, I like to go out to have something that I can't have at home. If we rarely go out for Italian because I can cook Italian. I make my own pasta, et cetera, et cetera. So we rarely go out for Italian. Going out for tiki drinks, yeah, I know I've got the tiki bar here, but this drink calls for some esoteric ingredients, and so you can't always just have them on hand at a home bar. And so this is a chance to actually have a drink with tiki bars should have all of these ingredients on hand. And the first of those ingredients is the 1/4 ounce of falernum. The second is a 1/4 ounce of allspice dram, sometimes called pimento dram. And we are going with Cotton and Reed's allspice dram. We're going to go 1/4 ounce of this. I actually find this an unusual combination. You don't normally see allspice dram and falernum in cocktails. It tends to be a little of either or. Same thing with orgeat. You don't tend to see orgeat and falernum in the same cocktail. You do see orgeat and allspice dram, right? Yeah. Not orgeat and falernum, but yes, allspice dram and orgeat. All right. Ta-da! So let's see. Angostura, lime, orange, date syrup, falernum, allspice dram. Then we need the rums. For the classic version of this, we need an aged Demerara rum. El Dorado produces Demerara rums. They are out of Guyana, and we're going to go ahead and go with the 8-year on this, because the 8-year is the standard aged Demerara rum that I have on hand. And we need a ½ ounce of that. So there's a ½ ounce of that. And then the thing that makes this drink just a difference maker is a rum agricole. This again, the vast majority of home bars are likely to have some rum on them, but they may not have a rum agricole, a rum that's actually not made from molasses, but is made from sugarcane juice. And if they do, they may not have an aged rum agricole, like the Clement VSOP. I happen to have Clement VSOP, so we're going to do that. We're going to go 1.5 ounces. So once again, we're going to go 3/4 ounce, and then 3/4 ounce. And I am just shocked at this point that I haven't accidentally done like 3/4 ounce there, 3/4 ounce there, and go, shoot, that's not going to work. So this is your 3 dots and a dash classic, aside from the date syrup. This, we need, what is it, 1.5 ounces and ½ ounce, so 2 full ounces of rum in here. And we're going to go 2 full ounces of Bacardi Gold. Is this fair? No, it's not fair at all. There's nothing about Bacardi Gold that will remind you of a rum agricole. Not a thing. But we're here to see what you can do with the Bacardi Gold and see whether or not so much, I guess, whether it makes a difference, but whether it still produces a drinkable, yummy cocktail. Because if it does, you know, even if it's not a classic 3 dots and a dash, it's still a drinkable, yummy cocktail. You should probably be fine with that. All right, got a little bit of ice here. Cubed ice goes in there. Clear out my cubed ice here. That's my displacement pretty close on this, I think. I think that one can come out. There we go. Load this up. Is it my imagination, or have we not had any dropouts this evening? Isn't that pretty awesome? Wow. That smells so good, and it's a dark brown color. Doesn't look anything like any of the other cocktails we've done here tonight. Shake with cubed, and then we are going to strain this into a double rocks glass with crushed ice. So I'm going to go ahead and strain this in, and then I'm going to add the crushed ice. And we are going to use our custom made for us Tiki mugs. These are roughly double rocks glass size. So we're going to go here and do those. Thank you, Becca, for those. Awesome job. Hawthorne strainer. Here we go. Deep dark brown color. Do the same over here. Still a little bit more left in those, in the 2 shakers, but I want to make sure I have some room for the crushed ice. No, I didn't get quite as much dilution on this one. Huh. It's a little unusual. Might be a difference in the...
Dilution?
Well, definitely a dilution difference. Might be a difference in the percentage alcohol.
Oh.
So a higher percentage of alcohol will cause a greater dilution.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'd have to check. The Bacardi Gold is, of course, 40%.
Did you see I totally got you more ice?
I did see that my wife got me totally more ice. I had missed it until I turned around and I was like, oh, I'm going to be short on cubed ice. And then it was like, oh, my wife loves me. Or she just doesn't want me to make an embarrassed fool out of myself on Facebook Live.
Or I
Which
just want more tiki drinks.
she wants more Tiki drinks. And she knows she will get them as long as I have crushed ice. And you do? Okay. All right, so what are we going to do here? We need to garnish these. So my garnishes are almost set. I'm going to douse these with a little more of the magic potion to get flames. Oop. You going to get us straws, hon?
I am.
That's good, because we're going to need them. All right. So, I mentioned that some cocktails in the Tiki universe have sort of a canonical garnish to them. And the 3 dots and a dash is one of those. The 3 dots is sort of non-negotiable. 3 dots is nearly always 3 cherries. So we have 3 dark Luxardo cherries here. The dash, I've seen the dash be anything from like a palm frond to the actual post that it's on. That's kind of boring. A pineapple chunk, something along those lines, right? But what we've done here is we have taken a breadcrumb and we have soaked that breadcrumb in a little bit of lemon extract. And if we do this right, that will flame up really nicely.
Careful.
I'll just set that right there. Do the same thing here. That guy will sit there. Turn that off. I don't know if you can hear. You probably can. I can bring the microphone even closer. Crunchy, crunchy. Yeah. And there you go. That's you can also like shake cinnamon over the top of this, and it'll flare up a little bit. And it's very pretty. I might have some ground cinnamon here. We'll see whether or not this will do that. Yeah, there you go. You get the sparks coming off of it. The cinnamon and flames is not part of the traditional 3 dots and a dash. 3 dots and a dash is usually just the 3 dots and a dash. Flames are entirely optional, although I'm going to use them in this case because 2020 was a bit of a dumpster fire. By the way, any of you that got our Christmas letter or will be receiving our Christmas letter or just
charity
or just follow us on Facebook know that it actually was a literal dumpster fire for us in 2020.
They did a huge rehab next door, and at one point their dumpster caught fire.
Caught fire. We had fire department out here, flames leaping out of the dumpster. It was pretty impressive. And of course we got video because we knew we would want it.
So I've got my Pride straw
and
from Surfside Sips.
And I have...
And he's got one of his new
Strathulus. Yep. I am going to... One thing, anytime you're dealing with flames and tiki drinks, make sure the flame is out before you take a sip.
Oh, it's weird. It smells like toast.
It does smell like toast, right? Because, well, the burned cube. Yum.
That's yum.
I'm going to stare at her for a moment. That's yum. But that's the Bacardi. How could that be yum?
But
I
there's a lot, well, because a lot of the spices are what I'm tasting in a 3 dot and a dash. So you've got
that is I'm tasting allspice ram. A little falernum in there. But yeah, I'm really getting the allspice ram coming through, which you wouldn't want to drink allspice ram straight. Generally the spice level is just wow.
Oh yeah, that's much better.
But you do want to like have it over ice cream or something along those lines. You need something to help balance that out. And my guess is, Star loves allspice ram just as a flavor, and so do I. So it's no shock that the Bacardi Gold works as a carrier for the flavor of the allspice ram, and therefore that works as a cocktail. I would be surprised if this isn't a better cocktail.
It is.
Star says, it is. So, cheers to you all. This has been the Bacardi Gold test. Well, it really needs the rum agricole, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. The rum agricole really makes that drink. You might be able to get away with substituting out the Bacardi Gold for the Demerara, but without the rum agricole, that is just it's not a complete drink. That is three dots and a dash. That is a yummy, classic tiki cocktail. The flavors, they meld together, so you just aren't smacked in the face with the allspice dram, which allspice dram is like liquid fruitcake. I mean, it's not nearly that sweet, but those pungent baking spices, yeah, that's what you get with allspice dram. The herbal grassiness of the rum agricole really is a nice counterpoint to that, cuts through it a little bit and makes it really nice. And then the sugary sweetness of the Demerara rum works well. I'm shocked. The date syrup, I think, it complements the allspice dram, and maybe the honey is probably a better choice for this, but I find it works with this. So yeah, that is an unqualified success. But there you have it. So you have this great big bottle of Bacardi Gold, which we are about to split into some smaller bottles and use those up. Probably for punches, probably for things that call for lighter rums, and when we are putting together like large format cocktails like punches, yeah, that'll be fine. Am I putting some of that in my rum infinity bottle? Probably not, but so what are our conclusions from doing this? I think the more complex the drink, the more it actually matters the different types of rums that you have in it. And as a consequence, if you are ordering drinks that are on the simpler side, then the difference between the Bacardi Gold and some of the other rums isn't going to matter as much. So something like the Painkiller, something like a Dark and Stormy, I think you can get away with, certainly for like rum and cokes or a Cuba Libre, rum and coke with some lime, perfectly fine, and the Bacardi Gold will be perfect, work well, save you a bunch of money. The Dr. Funk was certainly palatable. Wasn't to my liking without the higher quality rum. And the three dots and a dash was definitely a very different drink. This is still drinkable, but you're going to note that this is just going to taste like allspice dram.
Yeah. But it'll still get you drunk.
It will, but we don't drink for effect here. We drink for taste.
Absolutely. But, just I'm a little tipsy, so I was
Are you?
stating, yeah.
Because, we've only like slammed back 3 full tiki cocktails in the space of an hour and a half,
yeah,
hour and 20 minutes, something like that. Yep. Yeah. Virginia alcohol control state. Yep. Chalet liquor in Ohio.
So Bonita and I were talking about where to get agricole. So after the broadcast, I'll look up some places. She's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, right. In Pennsylvania. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Our plan for our first post-COVID trip is we're going to drive through Pennsylvania on our way up to Michigan and go to Max's
South Seas Hideaway,
which is Martin Cate's new tiki bar.
Right, so. Which he had the unfortunate glory of opening during COVID. Yeah, so that kind of sucked. And so we really wanted to go, and we had plans to go last year.
Right.
And of course,
we're gonna make it a driving trip, so we can go when we feel like it, and we can back out at the last minute.
Right. If we decide this is just not in our comfort level.
After we have our vaccines. So.
Knock knock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the anniversary party this year is canceled. Yeah. Not doing the Vegas trip, which was what was planned.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll have to figure out something else. There almost assuredly there's going to be at least one Zoom session.
Oh yeah.
Just, so we can.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what this is. Maybe March will be, virtual anniversary. Dun, dun, dun. How will it be any different from any other day? I don't know. But, this is yummy. I'm going to sneak off over here and drink this because it's good. Thanks for the lovely social distancing this evening. That's what she posted.
Excellent.
thank you for joining us. I am so glad that, yes, Hidden Harbor, that's the one. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that people are still like interested enough to tune in and listen to me blather on about tiki cocktails for an hour plus each week. I really do enjoy doing this. Like I said earlier, the energy level was just kind of not there today, and
now it's picked up.
Now it's picked up,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to be here.
It's due to you guys, so we get a lot out of doing this.
Besides it, I can always say, "Oh, hun, we got a Quarantiki cocktails coming up, and I need rum X for that," and it's always a good excuse to run to the liquor store. And
those of you in Virginia, ABC.
I'm in Virginia.
ABC is going back to doing their mini Mondays, where if you buy booze on Monday, you get a mini bottle. This week's mini bottle is the Glenfiddich Caribbean cask.
Is it?
Yes, which I'm not a Glen single malt fan.
She's not a Glen fan. Yeah.
And but I was tempted by it. And
Glencairn, Glenfiddich, Glen Campbell. She doesn't like them.
I'm an Isla fan, and but so I thought I might stop by ABC, and if you buy X amount, you get a free mini. So I have to find something to buy at ABC.
Shucks.
Oh shucks.
Yeah. Pretty sure we can manage that.
Yeah.
We seem to manage reasonably well.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, folks. 38 is in the can.
Yeah.
Thank you once again. This has been our very first 2021 production. Obviously, the changeover in year didn't stop us from doing this, and there are no intentions of stopping doing this. So we're going to go forward and keep going. So looking forward to having you here, and we'll see you next Sunday. And hopefully there's some good news.
Yeah.
Next Sunday. So ciao, bye. That's it. We're cutting out of here. Happy 2021. Happy surviving 2020. And we'll talk to you all in about a week.